Hello folks, welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to my channel. For those of you who are brand new, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. So today I thought we would do something really fun. And I love using the pendulum. I'm just going to move that around. So I thought we would do a surprise reading. Yay! So we have several different things here. I made this. So one of them says career, karma, passion, inner child, money, finances, and love. So I'm going to put this back, and I thought that we would use the pendulum, and wherever it landed for each pile, that's the theme that we will be working with, and getting you some beautiful and inspiring messages that hopefully resonate and give you some support. So as always, we have 3 piles for our surprise reading here today. So the first pile is, have these little bauble heads. So we have the little blonde one here, and she's saying, oh, I think. And then, oh, they don't really stay, so. And then the middle pile has black hair, and she's kind of, I guess she's kind of sleepy. So that's pile 2. And for pile 3, of course, we got to have a redhead. So for those of you who are loving redheads or is a redhead, maybe pile 3 is for you. So as always, take your time, and we're just going to breathe in and ground ourselves and speak to our inner guides and our spirit guides so they can come in and offer us support and highly resonating and, of course, high frequency, beautiful messages today. If you need to go ahead and stop the video or pause the video for any amount of time that you need to figure out which one of these beautiful piles is resonating with your soul so you can get the answers that you're looking for today, then go ahead and do that. And as always, the timestamps will be listed below, so you can go straight to your pile and find out what your destiny is. All right, so we're just going to move these out of the way for now. And okay. So this is pile 1, and these are very much timeless readings. So if you picked the little blonde doll head here, then this is for you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to see what your surprise reading is. Let's find out what your theme is today, what we're going to be finding out more about. Karma. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this again. So karma can mean many different things. So let's be a little bit more specific. Karmic love. All right, so this is going to be a love reading of sorts. Creativity, pile 1. Prince of Spring, charming, self-confident, passionate, restless, immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. Well, there you go. Self-reflection, solitude, the green man, the fool, new beginnings, and 9 of wands. Okay, so pile 1, your karmic reading here is about love. So these are general readings, obviously, so take what resonates, and whatever doesn't, don't worry about it. But I would say here, let's pull this down so I would say there's a few different things going on here. There is, with the karmic love connection, there's definitely creativity and moving forward in the way that you want to move forward. So I would say for some of you, we're definitely going to get into the passionate side, the actual love side. So bear with me. But I would say the first thing that I'm picking up is that there is a shift in creativity and what it is that you want to do. So let's be specific. Not a shift in creativity per se. The way in which you're utilizing creativity and the way in which you're putting it out into the world, I would say, is shifting. And that is karmically, that does tie in with the karma, because you're here for a specific reason, and that's to bring truth and integrate your own brand of creativity into the world. And that's what you will love to do. But here's the thing. You've been doing it, I would say, either as a sidetrack or as a hobby, or you've not been doing it to the scale that you've wanted to be doing it at. And I feel as though this is a shift and a brand new beginning for you to be able to do that. Now, part of you has, some of you have held yourself back because there's a little bit of self-doubt there. And I wouldn't say that you're not confident. You're definitely confident, but I would say for most of you, you have certain aspects of soul family, and you certainly have a strong foundation and platform from which to work. And you certainly have people that you can turn to. But I would say that most of your soul family, as it comes in, the people that you've incarnated with, that you will actually physically work with, that will support you into new heights in your career, you've either just started coming in and meeting them, or you haven't met them yet. So the self-confidence doesn't really apply, because you are confident, but there was missing pieces of the puzzle, I feel as though, to bring you to the next level. But you're about to meet these people. These opportunities that are coming in for you at this karmic level will definitely push you into the next level of what it is that you're supposed to do in this lifetime. So I feel as though with this Nine of Wands here, he's got everything laid out, ready to go, and sort of looking a little unsure of himself. But at the same time, it's got you've got everything that you need. You've got the platform, you've got the grounding in the back, you've got the house, you've got the security, and you've got this magic here on your left. So it's coming in. This energy is coming in. There were pieces of the puzzle that needed to come in, and pieces of the puzzle meaning people, soul family, to move you to the next level. There was also other things, and this is definitely a timeless reading, but we've just come out of a really, really intense cycle of so many different things going on, so much shedding and so much release, and that really did need to happen for you to secure your place in your heart center before you sort of took off. And I do see you definitely taking off. So what it is that you were supposed to do in this lifetime, be it integrating karma and bringing truth to the world, that you absolutely love doing, and you've done to a certain degree on your own terms, and again weaved it in and integrated that into your life. So I would say that, you know, the people that are in touch with your creativity, that do know your power and your sense of truth, are truly moved by it. And I feel as though, you know, when they let you know that they're truly moved by it, you're almost like, really? Like you don't really doubt yourself. You understand, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Absolutely. Oh, it is resonating. That's wonderful. But I feel as though there is a little bit of second guessing. And that's because you've been through a cycle of self-reflection. You've been through a cycle of, like we've said, releasing. So not all of your complete energy has been on getting yourself out there and moving in the world the way that you want to. A lot of it's been clearing. Now, let's be clear here also. It's not that you've not been working sort of behind the scenes or working on your creativity or I would say growing your creativity and working with your own sense of truth and really sort of making your voice your own and honing in on your craft. You have been doing this, but to a large degree, I think you've been doing it pretty much behind closed doors. Like I said, the people that have come in and around your sense of truth, no matter how you display it or how you articulate it in the world, are dumbfounded in a good way. Like, wow, it really hits center for them. And I feel as though many of you have just started coming into your own sense of power, where you're actually integrating your sense of truth into a much larger capacity in the world. So I would say for you, the main thing is that you're stepping into your path, your karma, doing what you love, really securing your place in the world, and taking up space the way that you're supposed to. Now, I did say that there was a secondary part to this, and there is. Now, I feel as though the movement, that you're about to have, which is, I think there for many of you, I just got unicorn energy coming in too, which I really love. So there's this magical aspect of your life that you're about to walk into, where everything sort of comes to fruition at the same time. Now, you have been working towards this, though I don't see that any of you will be really overwhelmed in any sense. But I do see a brand new relationship. I do see sort of this a passionate, like really passionate relationship. And I feel as though passion is all around you. It's not just in your sort of personal relationships, so your love relationships, but in the relationships that you have with your soulmates and your soul family coming in, which is not necessarily per se, quote unquote, a sexual relationship. You really do have a lot of passion coming into every aspect of your life. It's almost like it's being poured into every aspect of your life, and it's being poured into your heart center, and then sort of pouring in and out of every aspect of your life, from love to the love that you hold for humanity and the world at large, and then your creativity and your part of what you're doing for this world. So there really is a real new reclaiming. I would say that the passion that's coming in is well owed. You've been waiting for this. There's a restlessness, the spring energy of everything coming in, but it's not quite right, but it's ready. You're coming out of the winter. You're moving into this brand new energy. And for those of you who are resonating with this, I would say you should already have one foot in this energy already. You should already sort of feel the excitement of things coming in. Passionate love, like I said, new relationships coming in, but in a really beautiful way. You have certain jigsaws, certain pieces of the puzzle that have been coming in. Like I said, you do have people to turn to. You do have people who understand who you are. They may be not in and around you all the time, but they are there. It's not that you don't have support, but I feel as though the people that you specifically incarnated with, who have a certain amount of power, who can help you get to the next level, these are the people that you're about to walk in and meet. Now, you needed to release and secure your own sense of truth and really reclaim your boundaries in the last, let's just say, the year that you've been, again, this is a timeless reading, so the year previous to when you're actually listening to this. But I feel as though your brand new beginnings are brand new. Now, the solitude and the self-reflection, I feel, are, I don't want to say that they're never going to be there. I mean, you definitely need those boundaries. You need that solitude. You're always going to be self-reflecting. But I feel as though the way that you've been working with the solitude, the way that you've been working with the self-reflection, in order to release and bring you to this point, you're no longer, excuse me, going to be utilizing them in the way that you were. So you're, Green Man, you're at the Fool. You're at the brand new beginning. And new beginnings means an absolute beauty. Now, we do have, with the creativity card, we definitely have a new relationship coming in. And this relationship is a relationship that has been, again, it's a karmic relationship. There's no doubt about that. I'm always very careful about twin flame, soulmates, that sort of thing. But it's soulmate type of relationship, but it's a dreaming. It's definitely a brand new connection, something that you haven't had before. And there's a lot of beauty and magic around this situation. And I feel as though when you do meet them, it's, not to be cheesy or anything, but it's definitely a sort of a situation where you only see that person, and that person is sort of almost on a stage and nobody else sort of matters. It's that sort of relationship. So that's saying to me that it is brand new on every level. And you've been restless, you've been working very hard. And even though there were times when I feel as though you had everything laid out in front of you and you understood on some level the beauty of the truth that you had and the talents that exist within you, you were still a little unsure, but these times are over. So love and karma coming in a really, really extreme brand new way for you, Pile 1. And these brand new beginnings, this brand new beginning is coming in a magical and a very a lot of celebration coming in, like a brand new beginning. I feel as though the end of struggle, it's not that you'll never struggle again, it's not about that, but the way in which you will rise up to meet challenges from now on in will be very different. This is a time of celebrating, a passion of renewed faith of bringing in your brand new soul family who will bring in new connections for you. And I would say the one thing that I'm getting for you is to release and not put any, you put so much energy into this sprouting and moving forward. You've sown the seeds, trust that they will happen. You know, don't worry about the controlling of it. Literally just enjoy and let go and just sort of release to the universe. And if you're unsure of how to bring this energy in, just keep reassuring the universe that you are ready, and do whatever you need to do to back up the understanding that you are ready for the universe to deliver this by surrendering. And remember, you're doing this for your higher self. This is nothing to do with ego. You are ready to bloom, but in a way that actually elevates the world as a whole, as the collective, which is why you're here to do that. So don't ever forget that. This is your karma. This is your destiny. You're moving into this new aspect of self that you've always known that you would. So this is an exciting time for you, pile one. I feel as though there's love on every levels, and there's new beginnings for you. So do let me know if this resonated with you and how this all came about. Do feel free to give me a thumbs up, a nice little like, subscribe if you feel as though this energy could benefit you in the future in your life. And do let me know in the comments if this resonated and if this energy is coming in and the specifics of it. I love to hear from you guys, so feel free to let me know all of your inner secrets. No, I'm just kidding. But do let me know if this resonated. I do love to hear from you guys. So well done. I'm really excited for you, pile one. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile two. Here is your timeless reading. Let's put this in the middle if it'll let me do that. So if you picked the dark-haired beauty here, this is yours. So let's find out from the pendulum what we will be looking at, what we will be reading for today. So round and round it goes. Career. All right. So this is a career reading for you, a timeless reading. Commitment. Okay, and that's reversed. 5 of Autumn. Reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for career change. Feeling challenged by money issues. Okay, well, we can help you with that. Hunger. Rebirth. Spring equinox. Love that. So you have spring and autumn. High Priestess, that's wonderful. And the 2 here, which signifies to me definitely a coupling, but we'll go into that a little bit later. And 3 of Wands. All right, so there's a few different things going on here. Pile 2. So I notice there's a little bit of a glare. So let's bring this down. So the first thing that I want to say, that I feel as though the commitment is reversed. The card is commitment is reversed for a reason. Now, it's not that you're not committed. You are the sort of person that commits. And when you do commit, there is nothing that is going to stop you from committing and moving forward. But I feel as though that you've been doubting your commitment because you've been figuring out your path, and you may be a little bit unsure of how to move forward. There, you know, this has been a theme pretty much with everybody that I work with on some level, including myself, and it's totally understandable. You know, following your heart and then working with your practicality, and having your practical sense work for you, but not where it blocks your heart. So I feel as though you do commit, and when you do, like we've already stated, you move forward wholeheartedly, but you haven't been committing, or you've been nervous to commit or move forward in your career because there's a little bit of distribution there, a little bit of balance that you're trying to figure out between the practicality and the heart. Now, I feel as though you're very strong in your magic insofar as you know who it is that you are. You have a very firm sense of self, I feel as though. I also feel as though I see for some of you, again, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and just leave what doesn't. But I feel for some of you, there is a mask. There is a mask that you put on in the world. So maybe the job that you do for money, and then there's this sort of inner magic that you use, and you might actually integrate that magic on the side. So maybe your side job, or maybe the magic that you do is done behind closed doors, like you're a painter or you're a writer, but it's not out in the world the way that you want. It's not as though that you don't take any of this seriously. You do. It's just that there's a little bit of a confidence lacking about how to make a living from your heart's desire. There's also a little bit where what you're trying to do is take your heart's desire and whittle it down to an essence of practicality, so you can go ahead and make your money from it in the world. Now, I think that's what has been going a little bit wrong for you. So let's help you out there, pile 2. I feel as though your practical side has been trying to take your magic, and I keep seeing you're putting it in a box so you can distribute it to the masses and hopefully make some magic. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, I'm still sort of doing what I want. There's a little bit of compromise, but there's compromise in life, right? Doesn't everybody compromise? Well, your message, pile 2, and I'm glad you're here, is that no, you're not supposed to compromise. You're not supposed to dilute your magic in any way. You're not supposed to dilute who you are to be accepted or to work with the quote unquote the masses. You know, you're not supposed to work with everybody. You're, you know, the way in which you will make your money, or the way in which you will improve your career and of course finances, and be compensated heavily for what you do, because you deserve to be heavily compensated. You're not in it for the money, but there's no reason why you should not be comfortable doing what you do. You're giving a service and you believe in that service and you're very good at what you do. But I feel as though there is a compromise on your end. Instead of diluting your beauty and your magic, put yourself out there in your unique way, the way in which that you are completely and totally. Now, you're not supposed to work with the masses. The people who are supposed to work with you will find you. Once you reclaim, or I would say not really reclaim, but once you claim your essence and stand behind your uniqueness, and stop trying to integrate the practicality into the career and try to make things work. Now, you're owed this rebirth and the hunger. I can tell you, I can feel the hunger from here. This idea of diluting what you do in some way or form, and there's so many different ways that you've diluted yourself or you try to, I feel as though in order to create a larger form of business, so to speak, which is not really working, or you're diluting yourself in your current career where you're not really owning up to the creativity and what it is that you're supposed to do. And what you're doing is you're utilizing your many gifts that you have, but again, you're fitting yourself into another box in order to find that money and pull in those finances. So now this is something that you've wanted to do for a while. The 3 of Wands, you're wanting to take off. You're wanting to get on that boat. You're wanting to do things exactly the way that you've wanted to do things. But there's a part of your mind, your ego, that's saying to you, no, practicality. You know, if we do this, if we compromise, we'll be able to do X, Y, and Z. And I feel as though you've been doing that on many different levels and none of it's really working out for you. You might have a great start, but it either fizzles out, or you're not able to maintain the kind of level of success that you're hoping for, or you're just quite miserable in what you've set in the compromise that you've set up for yourself, because it's not quite what you want to do. Integrating the essence of your magic, it's just not fully enough for you to be completely happy. So I feel as though the poor timing and the career change, I feel as though that's really speaking to just letting yourself go and really going with this heart space, and you're ready to move forward with the courage of saying, I'm going to do what I want on my own terms. Now, here's the thing. Just taking your magic and declaring that to source, to God, to the universe, however you think of it, it really doesn't matter. It's all the same. Just declaring it by saying, I am tired of diluting myself. I will no longer do that. I am going to integrate all aspects of self, put out my magic, and absolutely integrate all of my magic and put it out to the world the way that I want to, and the right people will find my own uniqueness and will work with me in the way that I want. So no more compromises, pile 2. In order to have the rebirth that you want, and in order to sustain or curb the hunger, you see, the hunger is coming from the fact that you want everything on your own terms. But I feel as though in some ways you've been told that, nobody gets to do things on their own terms, and there is a sense of compromise. And I think this is incredibly wrong. Yes, of course we need to compromise on some level, absolutely, in relationships, husbands and wives, and you do this, I do that. Of course there's a sense of compromise. You can't always have things your own way, but I feel as though this has been misled for you. This understanding has just been completely wrong. I feel as though the way in which you want to be out in the world and really stand for your career, pull in the finances that you want, and have the life that you want, doing what you want for your career, you don't have to compromise on. And that's something that you've misunderstood with the compromise. That's nothing that the universe doesn't want you to compromise. I think that you've done the variance of all of the aspects of the compromise that you can do on every practical level. It's not working for you. So I would say on a practical level, this is what you can do, pile 2. Write down exactly what you want to do. No compromises whatsoever, and no filter. This is what you want. This is what I want, universe. I want to be able to earn this much doing this, doing da 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 da, and leave it up to the universe how it's delivered. Now, obviously, what you're writing down is very specific. And what I say how it's delivered, it's not that you're not using divine action. You're not sitting on the sofa going, all right, well, I've told you what I want. You have a lot of action. You have that hunger. I would say take that hunger and let it work for you in the right way. I feel as though you're definitely a person of action. You move forward. But I feel as though with the action, you're always going down a very certain path, which is on the compromising side. So if you use this hunger and action and use it in a divine way, releasing, but at the same time working toward everything that you want without compromise, then you will no longer be looking at this boat. You will be getting on that boat and going out to sea and doing exactly what you want to do. And you're not going out to sit in the sea and go, oh my God, what am I doing here? There will be support for you. Remember, baby steps. Just take the first step. But no more compromises for you. And no more trying to make it work on other people's terms. This is the time for you to step up and have things exactly how you want. You've been working up to this in many ways. I feel as though all of your different versions and roads to compromise has taught you so many different things on how to run a business and how to do things. Maybe it's taught you maybe it's, you've learned a little bit differently how not to do things, but that's still very worthy. You are absolutely capable of having the success that you want if you step up and do things on your own terms now. Remember, you are the high priestess, the 2, which means you have support. There is balance there. You've been working for this. You've done everything. Now you've compromised in every way, shape, or form. It's now time for you to take the reins, move forward, and do things completely on your own terms. So for those of you, pile 2, if this is resonating with you, you already know what you want to do. This should not come as a surprise to you. It's ready for you to go out there and you've got this brewing for a really, really long time. You have your familiar here. You have your support. You have, we consider Stonehenge and the moonlight here. You have everything here. This is your time to step up and do things on your own terms. So do let me know how that works out for you, pile 2. It's really important for you to own your own magic and stop compromising all of that. The practical side of you will always be there, which is absolutely incredible. But now it's time to apply your own sense of magic on your own terms, and you will be fully supported. Remember, you have been moving in this direction and you are ready to step forward. You're not stepping off that cliff. When you step forward into your brand new beginning, you will have that boat to step onto, and then you will be sailing out, not into the middle of the sea, in the middle of nowhere, to the new island and having the life that you want. So that's the way that we can see it. So do let me know if this resonated with you. Brand new beginnings on the career front. That's very exciting, pile 2. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you feel as though this energy is something that you would be interested in having in your life. Would be honored to have you. And do let me know in the comments if it resonated. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm really excited for your brand new beginning, pile 2. Well done. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 3, your timeless reading is here. I'm going to put this in the middle so we can start fresh. So if you chose the beautiful redhead here, this is your timeless reading. So let's find out your surprise, what it will be on. Okay, it's going to be on love. Let's do this one more time because I feel as though we really need to go around here. Love, secondary. All right, your timeless reading on love. Let's do this. The distorted feminine is your first one. Now, bear with it. 3 of summer. News worth celebrating. Weddings, graduation, births, friends you cherish. Protection. That's wonderful. Earth magic and fairies. 7 of wands. I love that card. And King of wands. That's wonderful. Okay. So with love, this is definitely, I think we chose love, karmic love for pile 1. There's different things that was going on with that reading. Well, yours is definitely, I would say, there's definitely an aspect in the integration of love of life. And I feel as though, for those of you who chose pile 3, I feel as though you have just come into a sort of a new beginning of self, seeing yourself differently. You should be feeling lighter or coming into that energy. You've just moved out of a sort of a tough situation. Again, this is a timeless reading, but whenever you're getting this, it should make sense. So you're already feeling this sort of lightness. The distorted feminine, I feel as though with you, is that you've had to come in. You've come into this lifetime with some heavy karma. This is something that you've been aware of, and this is something that you've been working through diligently. And a lot of you, there's been some self-love and self-sufficient kind of energy and self-worthy energy. I feel as though for some of you, you've been working on this tremendously. And the other thing that you get, and it just breaks my heart, is that when something good or someone good does come into your life, you wonder when they're going to be taken away. And that just breaks my heart. I feel as though with the distorted feminine for you, it's not that you weren't strong. You were extremely strong. I think you were almost too strong, insofar as that it took you a while to learn how to be vulnerable. And this is something that you've been doing. You've been leaning into that vulnerability, which has absolutely been beautiful, which has given you this depth and perception, and has made you lighter. This feeling that you can be yourself, and you not have to compromise your sense of self by always having to be strong. I feel as though asking for help for you has been quite difficult throughout your years, but I feel as though when you do ask for help, you've been given it, and you've been given it freely. And this has been something that you've maybe felt guilty about, but it's also something that you deserve. You deserve to be helped. There is a message from the universe, from source, from God, who, however you think of this energy, it's all one and the same, but you deserve to be helped. And always remember that you cannot do this alone. You're not alone. So there's this beauty of just coming into this energy of this full-fledged sort of out of the distorted feminine of what femininity is, and what not femininity is, but what the feminine is to you, and really rising up with the sense of the new feminine, with the sense of vulnerability and space and self-worth. I feel as though there's been a lot of healing from past lifetimes too, when you were a part of systems, and we still are, but we're rising up and above that now, when you were part of systems where the divine feminine was cruelly treated. And I feel as though that left a significant mark on you in a way that really, really, really pained you. And I feel as though a lot of that muck has been cleared out, and you've integrated the wisdom and reclaimed it from past lives. So well done. Now let's get on to the love. So the fairies too, there's earth magic around you. There's also air magic and fairies. So a lot of you can have sort of elf-like features maybe, or have a sense of sort of play. Now I feel as though I feel as though you've not always let that side of yourself out, but I feel as though with this lightness, you've just come into that and then attracted this new beauty that's coming in. So I do feel as though there is somebody coming in for you. There is new love on the horizon. I also feel as though that you might be in and around that energy right now. I feel as though for some of you, you've been waiting for it. And for some of you, you may have felt as though you had found it in the past or in the near past, but they turned out to be sort of a, dare I say it, a false alarm. So I feel as though for some of you, you felt as though, oh, this is it, this is great. And then you were a little bit disappointed. Maybe there was a little bit of a sting of betrayal there. But I want to let you know that that person really does exist if you did feel this. And again, this is a timeless reading. This is a general reading. So if this aspect of, because this is for some of you. So if this part of it, of the reading doesn't resonate, just move on from it. But for some of you, there was somebody that came in that you genuinely believed was the person that you thought they were, and then they disappointed you in some way, and let's just leave it at that. But you felt as though that you were done with love because you'd felt that person, but when it turned out that they weren't there, there was a sense of projection, but you had to go through that in order to come out on the other side and be ready for this other person. But I want to let you know that if there was a sting of betrayal there, this other person does exist, and that other person you are ready for now. There was some aspects of self that needed to go through with the distorted feminine that you've been working on, and you were able to release the last parts of healing of the distorted feminine with this person that was in and around you that you thought was somebody that ended up being somebody else, if that makes any sense. So they enabled you to heal. Now, even though that situation might have been quite painful for you, and I'm so sorry for that, you coming out on the other side of that, you were able to release the real sense of the distorted feminine and move on from that sense of self. Now your sense of self and your beauty. Now, again, this has got nothing to do with gender here. We're talking about the feminine. Everybody has masculine and feminine. Now that's obvious, but we're not talking about gender. So when we're talking about the distorted feminine, there was an aspect of that in yourself that was distorted and now isn't. And that person that you thought was there for you ended up not being there for you in the way that you thought they were going to be. And you may have taken it as betrayal. But I promise you, whatever was released through that karma, whatever was released in general through that relationship got you ready and a firm grounding for this other person coming in. Now, even though you felt as though the bottom had sort of dropped out of your world a little bit with this sort of sense of betrayal with that person that you thought was a little bit different, you were protected and they were cradling you. There was just a little bit more that you needed to go through in order to figure out, like we said, to really release and be ready with this distorted feminine. If you had brought in the distorted feminine into this relationship that really is for you, that's coming in for you now, it just would have been much more difficult. You wouldn't have been able to sustain the relationship because you would not have felt that you deserved the relationship. You would have been constantly questioning it, questioning the new relationship, and whether you wanted to or not, you may have pushed that person away or pushed yourself away from that person. Now that is no longer on the cards. I promise you, we have a sense of humanity. We have a sense of celebration. We have a sense of people coming together. We have that lightness that we picked up on brand new at the beginning. I know we had to go back and figure out a little bit of the darkness, but how you got to the light. But you are in that light. You're in that light step. That person is gone. Regardless of what happened with them, they were never meant to be for you. You were protected through all of that. And this new love, which is absolutely wonderful, is going to feel like home and going to feel comfortable. And I promise you, when you meet this person, which is going to be very soon, the energy should be in and around you. But when you meet this person, you're going to be really glad that that's when you're going to be able to get this really objective, beautiful perspective. So you'll be able to see back on that old relationship and go, of course I needed to go through that in order to be ready for this. Of course, it's going to all click into place then. So if there's any remnants of that old relationship, just let it go. I think on many levels that you have, but you are ready for this new relationship that does feel like home. It is secure. It is beautiful. I feel as though this person is very secure within themselves, which is going to be wonderful for you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's going to be a reflection of your new lightness, of walking with the fairies. Now, a lot of, we grew up saying, oh, she's away with the fairies or he's away with the fairies. But, and which sort of meant that they're not really truly there. That's the way that we sort of saw it, growing up. But actually, the way in which you are, it's earth magic. You're very grounded. So this person is very grounded. They might have a lot of earth energy, but they also have this sense of they're not stuck in their ways. They have this sense of sort of integration in the world. They know who they are, but this freedom, they allow people to be who they are, including you. They have this sort of mutable energy. They're very easygoing. It'll be really good for you, but they have that secure sort of platform, that grounding for you, which I feel as though you need in your life. Everybody needs it, but I feel as though you definitely do need it. I feel as though you're definitely going to feel as though when this person comes in, you're going to know for sure that this person is going to prick your ears up and go, all right, what's going on? You're going to feel different. You're going to be really proud to announce that person in your life, and this is going to be a brand new beginning with this person. So we want to remind you, the energy around you is of protection. I know that there was this aspect of self that you felt like we said before, that, the bottom dropped out with this relationship or whatever disappointment that you had been through before this lightness came through. And they want to remind you that you were protected. And there's a scope to this. There really is. I promise you, if you just wait, there's going to be this perspective, this new objectivity to be able to see this relationship and know that you had to go through it in order to be ready for this new relationship that's coming in. So for this love, and, time is man-made. It's very difficult for us to say, but I feel as though this energy is coming in and around you very, very quickly. I would say within 3 months, if the energy is not around you already. Now, for some of you, you may already know this person and moving it one step further, but for some of you, this is going to be somewhat blindsided. You're sort of going to be looking in a different direction and this person just pops up, but you're going to know them. And they're, like I said, it's going to be comfortable. They're going to be very earthy. They might even work with their hands, like sort of woodworking, or maybe they're painters. I'm not really sure, but they're very earthy people, whoever this person is around you. And they're going to want to create a home. They're going to want to create, I can see you two like sitting Netflix, like they're going to be ready for a relationship. They're going to be ready to settle down and to also be part of your life and integrate into your magic. It's a beautiful time. I feel as though this is also a brand new beginning for you in a way, but the beginning you already stepped into the lightness of the beginning. So we can already say that your new beginning already started. You're just you're moving out of the new beginning and moving into the way that you should be in your life moving forward, if that makes sense. So you're actually moving forward out of your new beginning. You've already had your new beginning because the lightness has already started. So remember to have that sense of objectivity, have that sense of hope. Go back to your magic and your lightness and that inner childlike kind of, fairy-like magic that you have, which is truly beautiful, which will bring in this person, bring in that energy will bring in this person a lot quicker. Also, remember that you are protected. Everything that you've been through, even if there was a little bit of a heartache attached to it, you just needed to do that in order to move through the aspect of the distorted feminine, which you have already done now. I feel as though this lightness is definitely bringing in this person. I can't wait for these. And this is going to be a time of celebration in general, the 3 of summer. Look at these people. I mean, they couldn't be more happy. They're dancing. And even though they're sort of all doing their own thing, they're all connected in the sense of celebration. So this is coming in for you. Pile 3, this is incredible for you. And everything that's ever happened, also when you look back, when you get that sense of perspective and objectivity, really will fall into place and make sense. So if it hasn't yet, trust that the protection, the grounding is coming in, where you will have a new sense of perspective that you can look down on the old and go, oh, that's why. So new love, new celebration, this new lightness that you've just worked so hard to create, out of the old and out of the muck of past lives and karma and all of that old stuff, moving into a brand new, not even just a brand new sense of self with the lightness, but a brand new sense of what you want from that partner, and what you're willing to put up with. This is extreme beauty and boundaries. I just feel as though, which is just, and the beauty of it is that now you know how to express those boundaries in a partner. You won't even need to do that with this person because they won't even push them. That's the ironic thing, right? You've gotten to all this point where you learn how to do it. Now you don't have to exercise it, but that's still brilliant, obviously. So pile 3, that's wonderful. I'm really excited for you. Please give me a thumbs up if you feel so. I would love to have you subscribe if you feel as though this energy is something that you are looking for to have in your life on a regular basis. I'm looking to do around 3 videos a week. So there's lots of different ways to get some perspective and some support and guidance in your life. Also, do let me know in the comments if any of this resonated in any way, shape, or form. I always love to hear from you guys. I really do. So I want to thank you for being here today. And until we meet again, you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.